Hey, what's up guys? Another Livescope video. I had so much fun doing the first one. Like, I didn't really know what to say. I'm still learning a little bit about how to organize those videos on how you have to save them. I know that doesn't mean anything to y'all, but I'm saying how I have to organize, like when I save that video and then talking over it, and it's a little bit of a process. I'm still learning. I think I'm getting better at it. But then I want to cut it up like I do to show fish catches and things like that. So this is it's an ongoing deal that I'm going to keep doing. Okay, I did one. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I did one the other day about identifying fish. This will have a little bit of that in there as well. It's kind of the same day. I just recorded more of it and kind of showed what you can kind of do with Livescope and how it kind of lets you stay on schooling fish, identify bass, and things like that. Now, if you like that video, I'm gonna do more of them. I just always have to find the right opportunity or things that I see that are really cool. I've seen a lot of things that are really cool on Livescope. I'm not always recording though, because it's hard to screen record all day long. That's a whole nother story. However, watch this video. I think you'll still find it pretty cool on what happens, little things here and there. I catch a couple more fish. There's a tip in the middle of this video. I didn't put it in the middle of this video on purpose. It just happened to be there. So somewhere in the middle of this video, I can't remember what minute mark, 10 minute mark, 11, something like that. Something happens. And what happens is I even get fooled by some fish. I remember it when I did, and I corrected myself in the video. I corrected myself like, oh, those aren't really fish. I was shocked that I got fooled by them. I'm not gonna lie. I was shocked when I was watching the video, like, why did I get fooled? It took me the second time watching it before I realized what happened. And so there was a time in there where I had changed the settings. A lot of times when we crappie fish, we don't go out to 100 feet. We go out to like 40, 50, 60 foot, things like that. So watch what happens. There's a tip in there. I'll explain what it is and what not to do, or try not to do this because it'll lead you down the wrong path sometimes. And so it gets very hard to do this. So I'm gonna give you one tip in there, and it's a big tip, guys. All right, enjoy the video.
All right, here we go. So that's them at 50, about to come up. I can just throw this over there and probably get bit instantly. Okay, where'd they go? Okay, there they all are. You can see them all kind of looking at it. That's what happens when they're not schooling. They just, well, that and when your bait's messed up. Either or. But if nothing else, I can maybe get on out there, intercept them. Got one looking. Got a couple. That's them following it. When you see them, like, they're just so hard to catch right now unless they're schooling. You can do it. If nothing else, it keeps you on them. Just gonna let that one fall in there. That way, if they do come up again, I won't be so far away from them. But you can see they're swimming away from me because I'm moving. Where'd they go? There they go. It's amazing how fast they swim. You always got to get in front of them if you got a chance. I hear some further away. We'll get over there. We'll get over there to them eventually. We've got them go down. See if I can throw on them. We got them come back up. That's one chasing it right now. You definitely want to be around the schoolers. And there they go. Let's see if I can get over there in time. Take a chance every once in a while. I knew it. I'll get it this cast though. Ooh, got him. I don't know if I got the big one that blew up on it. Probably not. You don't feel big, but he also hadn't jumped yet. Not a bad one. That's not a bad one. That might have been the one that blew up. I got a bunch of them around me now. Let's see. See if I might be able to cast at those because of the wind. All right, strictly top water on them. Oh yeah. Or did I not? Got him. One thing I will say, I try to stay off my trolling motor as much as possible. I know trolling motors will make them, will actually make them school. But I'd rather have them do it without. Those are just far enough. I might be able to swing the boat. I don't want to get too far away from where I'm at. Anyways, that's what it looks like. Ooh, those might bite. They might be high enough. Where'd they go? Oh, there's some right there about to come up. They look at, usually when they get real high like that. See if I can get them to. You can tell when they see it. They're too far to the. Look at all them. That's a whole bunch of them of something. I don't know. So you can see my bait going down. Here's my bait at 60. Oh, one's coming and looking at it. Oh. It'll bite. I don't know what that. I wonder if those are something else. Let's see. Here's my bait at like 55. Here comes one. There's a pile and a bunch of fish. I wonder if those are crappie. Those ones up at like 70 are bass. There's a fish. I don't know what it is. That's a big old bass, is what it is. So you can still catch them fish. Not a bad one. Better than anything else I've caught out here on the old Topwater. Come here. Well, I probably caught one like that on Topwater. There's a bunch of fish over here though. Let's see if those are crappie. Some of them look like crappie. Zoom in. Looks like perch, for sure. Feel like perch. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, I don't know about all those. So it's kind of look like bass. Oh. Come on, Todd. Oh, those look way too big to be. We'll find out though.
All right, so if you see what happens, I didn't pick up on this right away. When I stopped to see if those were crappie or perch, whatever in that pile, and I brought out my little crappie jig. Just for a couple minutes, I did that, and I usually put it on around 60, sometimes 50, and that is the length of. If you notice how I always have it set out to about 100 feet, 90 to 100, depending on a couple things: water quality. The clarity of the water. Am I really trying to look out to 100 feet? things like that. Because I can't really cast 100 feet on some of the baits I'm throwing. Now the topwater I can, but some of the other baits I can't. So it's kind of pointless. However, the 100 feet is not necessarily, I can't cast there all the time, but I can at least find the stuff out there. So especially schooling fish. I'm sure on schooling fish, if I wasn't really worried about trying to catch them and just keep up with them, you could probably put it out there to 120, 130. And that way you can look a further distance and find where those schools of fish are. You can then, maybe if you found a school, back it back down to 190, whatever you would like. Now, what fooled me is this. When I looked out there, when you have it at 100 feet, it showed those fish that aren't bass fairly far apart. So I could tell, and like I said, this is just for this, I wouldn't say this time of the year, but if you go watch the other video, it'll make a lot of sense. And why I explain, it's always changing. And so sometimes when you get out to a body of water, whether it be a new body of water or the one you're used to or the time of the year, there's things out there that you'll start to identify what bass are and why they are the way they are. And so you don't always just have to like try to decipher depending on the blobs on the screen, like their movements, the way they're grouped up, things like that. So they were very grouped up. Now I'm not saying there's not single bass swimming around, but the grouped up ones are way easier to catch. So that's what I'm keying on. Well, when I moved it down to 60 foot back in, it compresses the screen. And so what it did was it compressed those fish that are usually spaced out by a little bit, and it compressed them and made them look closer together like they were bass, right? So just that little tip. I'm not saying it's a good thing to do, but when I did it, I didn't recognize that I'm at 60 foot now, and it compressed those fish together to make them look more like bass. So my tip is this. If you're going to do things, try to get very consistent on what you're doing. So like keeping the water level, if you notice, I'm not going from 25 to 15 to 10, the depth wise, right? And making the screen larger. I'm trying to stay on a 25 foot to where it looks the same constantly, and 100 foot. That way all the fish, you get used to something. You get used to looking at the screen a certain way and what bass are. Now it could change tomorrow, and say you wanted to change it up tomorrow, that's fine. But if you're doing it all that same day, or I try to keep it all consistent throughout the year, you get used to looking at that. And so that helps you identify things better. Within seconds, I misidentified those fish because I was in 60 foot. Now I quickly, when I got back into 100, I realized, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, those are further apart. And I was kind of actually embarrassed while making the video. If you hear, there's a little hesitation in my voice because I'm like, did I just mess this up? Did I just say these were bass? I was shocked that it fooled me. So things to remember, little tips to remember to help you stay consistent with your Livescope and what you're looking at. All right, let's get back, guys.
We'll find out though. See how slow moving they are? I could be wrong. They don't look like bass though. I think they're big old catfish. If they are, I still might catch one though. I don't know why, but they look like catfish. A little slow moving. Kind of follow. See how they're really slow moving? Let's see. Yeah, those are catfish. And those are perch. I mean, look at how many perch there are. Now there's probably some crappie and bass mixed in there and you just can't see them. Like that one coming, oh, it just had a bite. And they're smoking it. Smoking it. I hear you. Oh, come on. I'll take that. I'm trying to see if there's any big ones in there. That one looks pretty big. One I got's not bad. Yeah, the one I got's not bad at all. I think they're a 4-pounder. Oh. Come on. Ooh, where do I want to go? Those don't look that big. I got one though. Not a bad one though. Look, it's sad that I just want to get this one in, so God, another good one. Oh, I mean, shoot, they're getting bigger. Look at that thing. Come on. Yeah, that's over for no problem.
If it's controlling you, I know that time can heal it all. I just gotta get through